All right, so when you start moving toward acceptance or willingness toward acceptance, that's the final way out. Um, you know, that's how you come through. This is how people who have addictions finally come through. This is how people who live with people who have addictions come through. They finally accept that it is what it is. And then you have a different type of life. It's like, okay, well, how can life be acceptable for me and beautiful and free and filling for me along with what's going on? How can I live into and through this rather than trying to fix or avoid it? And that is the way we start coming into the friendly world. Because the friendly world, which I coin also the miraculous one, it's the one where things happen that you don't expect, that you can't figure out. It's called insight. Insight shows up and sometimes it can tell you strategies that you've never ever heard anyone say or considered for the situation you're in. Sometimes it just, things happen and change to a degree that you never could see it coming. Sometimes it's just totally unexpected and miraculous. I think of Jesus, one of the ones I was thinking about that today when they were kind of just shorten the story. They were looking for funds, they were looking for resources, and they were complaining about that. And Jesus looks at a fish. I'm sure what happened with him was somehow his spirit was saying, look at this beautiful fish. Because everything was beautiful. I think everything could be beautiful to Jesus because he was in that place. He was in the friendly, miraculous universe. And I think he looked at it and he went, now a lot of people want to think he was a great magician, but he wasn't a magician. In fact, if there was a magician involved, he always gave credit to what he called his father, which, forget the name and the gender, the anthropomorphic insinuation. That was a time then, all right? But it's like the spirit is what did the miracles. And I don't think I don't think he really had any intention to do miracles. And if you saw some of the miracles that happened, he was surprised by them. And I think every miracle he did, in some way, he was clueless as to why and when he was going to do it, and even what was about. Even if it was a miracle, he would go. He would be available. Because that when you're in a friendly universe, that's all you got is to be available. You don't have any more ideas and intentions. It's like if God was a person, God would be sitting there saying, "You still got intentions about what you think ought to happen here? I thought you figured that out, that you don't really have squat in that area. It's not going to change. It's not going to give you what you really want, and you won't be able to manifest what you think you need. So we're done with that, aren't we?" And it's like, well, yeah. So if you're done, then you're done. You just show up, and let me show you things. I'm not going to give you lessons. That's not even friendly. That's not miraculous. You're the light of the world. You're the child of whatever you want to call it, the child of the living God. You're this holy I am that is one. Okay? And in that universe, who you are, everything moves to and through you. So Jesus was out there, and they're bugging him about what are we going to eat, what are we going to pay for stuff with. He looks at this beautiful fish, and he reaches down, looks at the fish, and pulls a coin out of its mouth. That's possible in a miraculous universe, because anything is possible in a miraculous universe. Anything, far beyond what you think you could imagine, and definitely far beyond anything you think is reasonable. Definitely beyond that. I mean, you have the light of the world. You can breathe life into things. That's how powerful the life is in you, especially when you are awake and you are being used by the Spirit in the way that you were designed to be used. You are given to be used. So in a friendly universe, you're available, and everything starts to change. The whole arena changes. Everything changes. But the tasks start dropping away, and opportunities start showing up. So you're not in trial and error anymore, because first of all, you don't have a prescribed idea of intention or task. That's where it starts moving to. And I'm going to keep in mind here, I can't go on forever, so I don't want to go on forever. This is, this changes with your experience of this. You're gradually moving out of the world you've been in. When you're willing to do that, you start showing up and you start seeing things, all right? All right? Of course, this is where it gets real squirrely in the world, because a lot of people like do workshops on that, and they see something happen and they kind of figure out, oh, I think I know how I made that happen. And then they sell that method, and it works for 1 out of 1,000 people. And they say, see this person, it worked for them. Well, okay. Anything's possible in the world too, as far as a contradiction. So, at any rate, well, I said a lot, probably too much. I'm not sure I'm going to send this video out right away. I was going to send one, but this I think is 4 videos, so maybe I'll send out 4 videos. Who knows? Again, send me your suggestions. I really love to hear if you're moved by these videos as to what you want me to talk on, or hopefully shed some light on. Thanks again. Bye for now.